Forget the wall. Forget the wall. There is no wall. There is just one brick. Align it perfectly. That's all. That's all you got to do. One brick at a time. And what really inspired me was the sense of purpose and meaning and passion. And it might be just sitting with the triggering, whether it's mind or emotion or physical, just to sit with it and work through it and emerge on the other side. All of the energy which was trapped inside that is available to us, and that will create something new. Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Vimal. I am gonna share a little bit of my recent experiences, which I think is worth sharing. I'm sitting in a shack in a beach place called Gokarna in south of India. I'm actually camping here. Camping is not allowed in this beach, but this really lovely guy called Mahesh, who is the owner of this shack, allowed me to camp at his place. And I'm just taking a meal a day from him. That's all. It has been a hell of a journey for the last few days, both internally as well as externally, because I have left my apartment, which was in Bir in Himalayas, Himachal. And then I've come here with very little money, with just my bag, a tent, and a guitar, not really knowing where I'm gonna stay or how I'm gonna spend my time, or is this really right that I am doing this at this time. But it was just a calling, a feeling that I just followed to come here. And I come here before to Gokarna, and I always loved the energy of this place. So whenever I have taken leaps into the unknown, it has been quite triggering, both internally, and at the same time the other side of it is it has been liberational and a sense of homecoming and freedom. I think that's one of the reasons that I am always pulled into taking this small journey into the unknowns, whether small or big. And what happened this time also, there were quite a lot of triggering internally. There still is, in triggering both at the mind, emotional, and even at the physical level. And especially someone like me, who is quite mind oriented, has a lot of capacity around the mind, the intellect, to articulate, to write, to share, to facilitate. The mind can sometimes overtake the being, can overtake the show. It can even start controlling. And when the identity is in some kind of threat, especially the physicality, then the mind can really jump forward and starts protecting the being, by controlling, by thinking about, by over questioning, over analyzing, what is the step ahead, or am I doing this right? All of these things can happen. The only thing that I can do at this time, and I suggest or share this to everybody who is in similar context, is to be completely in the moment and not really think about the next step or the step after that, but only the step in front of you. And it might be just sitting with the triggering, whether it's mind or emotion or physical, just to sit with it and work through it and emerge on the other side. And what I've noticed in the recent times is that nowadays I can quickly move through triggering because of experiences of working with triggerings, is to move quickly through it without delaying it, without distracting it, without postponing it or looking for something else, to really know that, okay, this is what is invited now, and just to sit with it. And there had been there could be a lot of anxiety around the heart, if especially when karma is triggering, it can feel like that, you know. And I'll be completely honest, what has been triggering was sense of aloneness or feelings of failure. I mean, failure is a big thing, especially I think it would be worth revisiting. If you have seen, or if you have not seen, you see the podcast Richard and I did about debunking success and failure, because the society has defined what success and failure is, and when we break the mold of that and live differently to the conventional way of thinking, then these feelings of failure can really come in for most people. And to really progressively know what is success and failure to us individually, and orient and anchor more in that, you know and that is quite essential. So I suggest revisiting that, if you have here if you have seen, or if you have not seen. And last day I was just sitting on the beach and feeling this sense of aloneness, which was surprising to feel in that extent. But then I connected with the ocean and felt like a deep connection with the ocean. And I thought, how can I be alone if I have this beautiful being in front of me whom I can connect with? And there was a sense of expanding out of this physicality, this mold, this vehicle, called Vimal, this body, and just expanding out to even embrace Earth, the solar system, the whole universe. And I don't think anybody can feel a sense of aloneness at that point, when we can connect, at that level. It could be just connect with the ocean or a tree, or maybe a stranger or a friend, to see reflections around in other people, in nature. It could be just that. I've been receiving like really beautiful feedbacks, both pointing at my distortions, let's say, where I can work on, or the new beingness which is wanting to. It's pretty interesting, because the moment I said the new beingness which is wanting to emerge, I stumbled upon this guy that I met yesterday, who is running a yoga retreat center here, and I've been invited with an opportunity to teach, facilitate yoga, and also facilitate energy work or any workshops that I might like there. So this has been in the back of my mind, if I should go there, and what is involved in that, and all of that. So it's really interesting when you journey into the unknown, how the new opportunities are being created. I think it's because what I see is, when we break the mold of our previous existence, let's say, all of the energy which was trapped inside that is available to us, and that will create something new ahead of us, in the future, in the present. And that new opportunity will also be challenging, which will invite a deeper integration. So I'm still calibrating that opportunity. Let's see if that wants to flow. I've seen many different beautiful reflections as well. Yesterday I met a guy who was doing an all India bike ride without money, and vlogging at the same time. And what really inspired me was the sense of purpose and meaning and passion which he seemed to convey, and there is that guy who is expressing he can live on nothing but not without purpose or meaning. How inspiring is that? So many people live in comfortable environments. Everything is available to us, all the money, all the comfort is there, but then lacks the real passion and the meaning and the juice of existence. Is that really worth trading for for the purpose and the meaning that we can really embody? I would say it's actually not. I've this book by Will Smith came to me yesterday, just following the flow into a cafe, and the book is there, and immediately I felt to read it. And the first chapters in it, he speaks about as a child how he was forced, let's say, to build a wall by his father, and he found the work to be really tough, but his father at some point reminded him, forget the wall, there is no wall, there is just one brick, align it perfectly, that's all you got to do, one brick at a time. And I found that quite interesting. He was speaking about the spiritual journey, also building and expressing your passion. There is that one layer of identity at a time, unveil it, and you get the soul and express from that, and that's all it takes. It's only a problem when we think about 100 steps at a time. It's just one step today, now, in this moment, how I feel to be, how I feel to express, and that is going to dictate, our journey. We are the creator source of our journey, of our destiny. I also find this question: what is my why? What is the why of my existence? To be of real value, I am holding that question within myself, which helps me anchor and orient my life, towards my passion, towards the real sense and meaning of my life. And I don't think we immediately need to know the answer to that, but holding just that question will help us to negate everything in our life that's not in line with what is my why, and it could be expressing simply your passion, playing music or facilitation or whatever it is that we are doing, and not wanting or needing to compromise our soul, our deepest yearning for anything other than our deepest why. And there is a lot of freedom in knowing that, actually. And I think for me at this time, what is my why would be, how can I be completely authentic, in every moment with everyone. I think when we think we need something from the external, from the people around, from the situations, then we would be ready to give up or sell our soul because we are getting something. But when we come to a point where there is nothing to lose, we realize there is nothing to lose, there is the greatest freedom available. And we also realize I don't need anything other than the truth of what I am. Then we are able to express coherently and authentically in the environment, which would have a positive impact in our life. Yeah. Yeah. And that isn't actually everything. And I've seen over the years how many of my expression has evolved around this question: how can I be authentic? How can I play my music authentically? Am I there trying to entertain the people around, or am I playing really from the heart? If I am playing really from the heart, then I don't really care if other people validate it. I'm just simply expressing for the sake of expression. I to be honest, a lot of the time I have seen how I have sold my soul, let's say, to gain something, whether it be resources or validation. But having experienced that many times, have made a resolution, not really a resolution, but a statement to oneself that it's actually not worth selling your soul for anything. Rather be completely honest. And being completely honest doesn't mean to be rude and really straightforward, just not caring about other people. Absolutely not, because that is also an authentic part of us, which can be diplomatic, which cares compassionately for other people. But we will know the difference, really, if we are feeling when we are selling the soul and when we are really being authentic. I think this phrase, selling the soul, is quite intense. I could find a different wording for that. I think somebody who has found that they don't need anything and they cannot be sold is free, really. I think it comes down to that. Who has realized and found that he cannot be sold is free. That doesn't mean to say we won't connect with other people or transact in some way. There will always be some sort of energy exchange. Like, for example, I'm camping here, I'm offering some energy in terms of paying for the food or something else in return. But I think it's possible to do that quite authentically. I think this applies for everyone who is in work environment or in relationships. How can I be completely authentic? Yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to share today. So I hope you derive some value from this sharing, and always these things I just speak from my experiences and ongoing realizations. And my most core, deepest passion is to support other people in their revelation of their true self. And it happens by going into the triggering and opening into the soul and expressing that. And I have found that I have the capacity to hold space for that, and also empathically feel into the energy blockages other people are carrying and guide them through it, allow them to express them and emerge on the other side, in which case healing happens. So if that resonates to you, if you feel like if this is something that you would like to undertake, please feel free to reach out, either through my email ID, which is vimalfreesoul@gmail.com, or through my website vimalfreesoul.com. And I am really looking forward to connecting with you. Bye bye. Have a really lovely day ahead.